I'm Josh Lederman. I currently live in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I had a dog and a cat. The cat was my sister's, but the dog, he was mine, and he's definitely the greatest pet ever. His name was Yonkers, named after where I was born. He was a golden retriever, but he was a little bit bigger than your average golden retriever. He was kind of heavy, but he was also just taller in general. The thing with him was he didn't know he was a dog. He thought he was a person. He actually went through this phase that lasted most of his life where he would sit at the kitchen table with everyone else. Like, he would climb up onto the chair and sit on the chair at the table and eat his food. We had to, for a while he would eat out of his bowl, but then he wanted it on a plate. We had to put his dog food on a plate, and he had to sit at the table on the plate, and that's how he would eat his food with the rest of the family while we're sitting at dinner, and it was really weird. We had an armchair, like a recliner in our living room, and like that was like the first piece of furniture my parents ever got when they got married, and he basically, we still call it Yonkers' chair, because he basically took that over and like that's where he slept. He slept on a recliner. Summers were always good because we had a pool and he loved to go swimming. In the summers we started shaving him because he had so much hair and used to clog the pool and it'd be really hot, so every summer we would have him like shaved so he kind of looked like a lab. And the thing with him was whenever he would get out of the pool, he wouldn't shake himself dry unless he was standing next to someone who was not already wet. So he would get out of the pool and look for someone who was dry and go up and then shake himself off all over them. And he even had his own towel and he would lay out on like the plastic lounge chair. Like, he loved water, he loved the snow. So if you let him out in the winter when there was snow, he would not come back in the house. You had to go out and bring him in. I remember one time he went out while it was snowing and he laid down and waited until the snow had just covered him. Then you finally had to go out and drag him in the house. One time he actually got out of the backyard. He climbed over the fence we had and he escaped, and we didn't know where he was. And then after like 10 minutes, we got a call from one of our neighbors. Apparently what he had done, he went to everyone's front door and just like sat there and like waited, and they would just like give him a treat. And then he went to the next house and did the same thing. So he was basically going to everyone's front door on the street trying to get food. He loved basically every person in the history of like the planet. Like, he loved everyone except for the UPS guy. The one person that he hated was the guy that drove the UPS truck. He loved our one next door neighbor, and one time they got a delivery and the UPS guy truck pulled up. He used to lay in our living room and we had a window that faced like the front of the house, and that was like he would lay there and watch everything that went on. So he sees the UPS guy drive up and he sees the UPS guy get out of the truck and walk over towards my neighbor, and he starts like, I've never seen him that more angry. He was growling and it was like, I was terrified. Like, I guess he thought the UPS guy was going to hurt her, but it was pretty scary. The only animal that could ever push him around, which he didn't even care, was our cat, which you think a golden retriever and the cat, I mean, all the dogs in the neighborhood were afraid of this cat, because the cat would just like, basically he used to like, when the dog, Yonkers, was laying there, the cat would like come in the room, go on the other side of the room, run across the room, and just like dive headfirst into the dog. But he didn't care. I mean, he was just like whatever, and like the cat would use the dog as a pillow, and I mean, those two were like best friends. Go on walks around the block for like an hour to 2 hours, like at least twice a day, because he just like would never get tired. I hated picking up the dog poop. That was never fun, and he pooped a lot.